Legislature, PLP, family, members of the media, and the people of Sands North. I'm happy that you all have joined us here at the Reginald A. Burroughs Building as Progressive Labour Party announces our candidate for constituency number 36, Sands North, for the by-election on October 4th, Senator Reverend Dr. Emily Gail Dill. Reverend Dr. Dill has served in the Senate since 2022 and was Junior Minister for National Security and Transport. Dr. Dill was educated at the Sands Secondary School and is a graduate of Spelman College in Atlanta, where she earned a Bachelor of Arts degree in English and Secondary Education. Dr. Dill further holds a Human Resources Director Certificate from Cornell University and a Master's degree in Leadership and Administration from the Interdenominational Theological Center, and a doctorate in leadership and organizational development from the United Theological Seminary in Dayton, Ohio. She is a past president and charter member of the Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated Bermuda chapter, former Teen Services board member, former deputy chair of the Bermuda Arts Council, and in 2011, she was appointed as the co-chair of the Entertainment Task Force. To fuel her passion for youth, she founded Higher Visions and the Degrees of Excellence Educational Organization. Reverend Dr. Dill has experience in the public school system as a teacher, an educational therapist, and a counselor. She's passionate about the arts, having worked in the United States as a theatrical company manager for JOB Productions and as manager of the Ruth Seton James Center for the Performing Arts for 15 years. She also worked for the Bermuda Department of Tourism in New York as a tourism development officer and as the acting director of sales and marketing. Reverend Dr. Dill currently serves as assistant pastor of Allen Temple AME Church in the heart of the Somerset community. Yet as we open a new chapter for constituency number 36, we must not forget the work of former MP and Bermuda's longest serving political attorney general, Kathy Lynn Simmons. Her wisdom, counsel, expertise, and experience will be missed, and we in the PLP family thank her and wish her much happiness and success in the next phase of her life. Since you, the people of Bermuda, gave us the opportunity to serve, we have worked steadily towards a better and fairer Bermuda and sought to undo the terrible damage done by the previous One Bermuda Alliance government. While they focus on the wealthy, the elite, and the privileged and attempt to open the immigration floodgates to further marginalize our people, we chose to focus on the people they ignored. While the OBA told our seniors that money didn't grow on trees, pepper sprayed them, and callously refused to increase our seniors' pensions, we increased seniors' pensions every year at the rate of inflation for our seniors. Amen. The OBA preached shared sacrifice, where our most vulnerable were forced to sacrifice, while they coddled and catered to and gave breaks to the most privileged members of our society. Our approach was to deliver Bermuda's first minimum wage and to cut payroll taxes for 86% of workers in this country and all local businesses, while shifting the tax burden away from working people and middle-class families towards those with far deeper pockets and greater privilege. They slashed scholarships, grants, training opportunities, and social programs, while we are supporting young parents through expanded child care assistance, giving more Bermudian families freedom from the cost of childcare. Yeah. The OBA ignored the housing needs of our people, and we have invested record amounts of affordable housing with more units that are coming online every single month. I say these things today not to take away from the outstanding PLP candidate that we are offering to the people of Constituency 36, Sands North, or to toot our own horn, but to remind our people of where we were under the OBA and where they are today with us. Given the chance, they would take us back to the days when we had to march, protest, petition, and surround Parliament to stop them from opening the immigration floodgates. Stop them from slashing a woman's access to mammograms. Stop them from economically punishing our government workers, and to stop them from giving the children of guest workers the right to compete with our children for jobs and opportunities. That is what our opponents stand for, and that is what this PLP team and Reverend Dr. Emily Gail Dill is committed to fighting against. So on October 4th, we are calling on the people of Sands North, Constituency 36, to help us continue to make progress towards a better and fairer Bermuda, and to elect Reverend Dr. Emily Gail Dill as your next Member of Parliament. With those remarks, please join me in welcoming Senator Reverend Dr. Emily Gail Dill as Progressive Labour Party's candidate for Constituency 36, Sands North, in the next by-election.
Thank you, and good afternoon. To our Premier, the Honorable David Burt, to the Chairman of the Progressive Labour Party, Mrs. Joella Dawn Simmons, to our branch chairman, Mr. Dennis Outerbridge, to the executives of Constituency 36, other Progressive Labour Party executive officers, family, friends, media representatives, and to you, the people of Bermuda. It is with a sense of deep gratitude to God and great anticipation that I am before you today as the Progressive Labour Party candidate for Constituency 36, Sands North. Although I was born and raised in Southampton West, I have always considered myself a part of the Sands family. My mother, who raised me, Mrs. Frances Bean, was born and raised in Somerset. And as such, I spent most of my childhood and early adolescent years among the close-knit Sands community, forming bonds that have lasted a lifetime. I also completed my high school education at the Sands Secondary School. It was at Sands Secondary that I began to fully realize my academic potential and hone my gifts and talents. As a teenager, who would perhaps have been labeled today as a youth at risk, I was warmly embraced and inspired by Dr. Joseph Christopher and the staff of Sands Secondary at that time. Their patience and ingenuity helped me to redirect my energy and set me on a path to pursue a lifestyle dedicated to service and the uplift of humanity. For several years, I've had the privilege of serving alongside my husband as a minister at Allen Temple AME Church in Sands. This role has allowed me to deeply engage with the community, ministering to the spiritual needs of our residents while also addressing the social and economic challenges that we face. My time at Allen Temple has only strengthened my commitment to serving this community and has given me firsthand experience with the fortitude and faith that binds this community together. As a woman, I have experienced the challenges of gender inequality and underrepresentation, but I believe that our diversity is our strength and that women's voices must be heard in the decision-making process. Yeah. As a female representative for Constituency 36, I carry the legacy of a former resident, the late Mrs. Gladys Morrell. As a leader of the women's suffrage movement in Bermuda, she fought for 30 years for the right of women to vote. I stand proudly on her shoulders and declare my candidacy, knowing that her struggle paved the way for women like me to step forward and lead. I also join with my sorority sister, Vice President Kamala Harris, and join her in elevating women to positions of leadership. As a mature candidate, I consider my age to be a strength. I've spent decades serving our community, learning from our triumphs and setbacks, and building relationships that will allow me to hit the ground running. This experience has given me the wisdom to navigate complex issues, the depth of understanding to make informed decisions, and the maturity to bring people together. Throughout my journey, with God's guidance, I've built a proven track record of dedication and service. I've seen our community evolve, and I've adapted alongside it. I've worked with people from all walks of life, learning from their diverse perspectives. I know what it takes to build coalitions, to find common ground, and to get things done. As a minister, an educator, and a resident of Sands for the past 14 years, I know firsthand the challenges that we face. But I also know our strengths, our resilience, our compassion, and our determination. I have seen the impact we can have when we work together, and it is my desire to join with the constituents of Sands North to help set our community on a trajectory for continued success, unity, and unprecedented positive outcomes. My experiences, both personal and professional, have honed my skills and equipped me to serve. From working with the World Council of Churches and engaging with global leaders in the fight for justice and equality, to guiding some of Bermuda's most challenged youth towards success, I am dedicated to service and transformation. For the past 2.5 years, I've served in the Senate as Junior Minister for the Ministries of National Security, Transport, and Legal Affairs. I've worked with dedication alongside both ministers and civil servants to address our community's pressing issues, but I know that there is still more work to be done. We stand today on the shoulders of great leaders from our community who now rest with the ancestors, such as the late Honorable Eugene Cox, the late great Mrs. Grace Otterbridge, the mother of our current branch chair, the late Mr. Sinclair Richards, and the late Mrs. Gladys Morrell. These are just a few of the individuals who passed this way and left us with both a legacy and a mandate to protect the heritage of this community for future generations. Our Progressive Labour Party members of Parliament, our volunteers and supporters fought long and hard to earn the trust of the people of Sands North. And when we are successful on October 4th, I will be honored to have my name added to the list of the multiple members of Parliament who were elected from Constituency 36. It is my sincere desire to represent you in the House of Parliament and to work alongside you to preserve this great legacy of service, commitment, and dedication. I know that with God's help, it is possible to turn any situation around, and together we will work to improve our community. And I'm not just asking for and working for your vote. I'm asking for and working to earn your trust. Trust that I will use my voice to amplify the voices of those who have been silenced. Trust that I will work tirelessly to break down barriers and create opportunities for all. If you give me the opportunity and responsibility of serving and representing you, I promise to listen to your concerns with compassion, to speedily address the issues in our community to the best of my ability, to fight for quality, comprehensive health care for all, to ensure that we have an education system that is second to none, to promote the advancement of the arts in this community, to support businesses and encourage economic growth, to advocate for environmental protection and sustainability, and to champion social justice and equality for all, particularly for our seniors, our youth, and those who are marginalized. I will be joining a Progressive Labour Party parliamentary team that is dedicated to improving the lives of the most vulnerable, preserving the dignity of our seniors, protecting our women and our children, and helping our youth to see and achieve their full potential. There's so much that needs to be done. But whether it is increasing seniors' pensions annually to give them added security, introducing a minimum wage to raise the wages of our lowest paid workers, expanding access to affordable childcare, building more affordable housing, or slashing taxes for 86% of Bermudians, we have a vision, a plan, and an agenda that is making progress towards a better, fairer Bermuda. Let's work together to build a better tomorrow where every Bermudian can thrive. Together, we can. Forever, we will. Thank you.
All right. Okay, we're going to open the floor for questions. If you're answering a question, just make sure you move the mic.
So congratulations, Dr. Dill. And you minister at Allen Temple in close by, Constituency 35. And so you know the area. What are the key issues in Sands North?
Certainly in Sands North, like the rest of Bermuda, there are issues around the cost of living, affordable housing, the increased violence in our community, the direction of our youth, and the way that we can turn things around in this community. There are certainly the community issues, each on so many different roads as I've driven all through this community, so many different roads and whatnot. There are a variety of issues and many which have been addressed, and we continue to work with that community.
And how do you respond to commentary coming out of Sands that people have been neglected by their PLP representatives? Constituents have cited condition of 9 beaches, Sands 360, Leafroy House. How do you respond to that?
Well, everyone has their own perspective on different issues. And certainly as we look at the work that has been done in the community, while all goals have not been accomplished, I can certainly see, and there is evidence of the many things that were done under the last member of parliament. And I can only say that we must continue.
You minister at Allen Temple. I understand your husband is the presiding elder, and that is also the polling station for this by-election. Does this confer any advantage to you?
I don't believe so. I believe it's been the polling station in the past. And certainly when I heard that, I could only say, thank you, Lord, for confirmation.
So, and staying on the overall this candidacy rollout and the selection of candidate, if I may, I'll look forward to sitting down with you, Reverend Dr. Dale, for a thorough conversation over your candidacy for C36. But addressing Mr. Premier or Ms. Simmons, the chairperson of the PLP, Bermuda Broadcasting reported earlier this week that sitting PLP MPs Joshay Adams and Ianthea Simmons-Wade had been canvassing PLP voters for support to become the PLP's C36 candidate. We also understand that both subsequently withdrew from the race, and that Reverend Dr. Dill was unchallenged in the vote that took place last night. Can you confirm, correct, or deny any of this?
The Progressive Labour Party has an internal selection process where the rules are clearly spelled out. The branch met. The branch supports the candidate that is in front of you, who delivered a dynamic and passionate address as to why she'll be an excellent representative. I'm not going to get into speculation or other innuendo. We are here today to support Reverend Dr. Emily Gale Dill as our candidate for the by-election on October 4th.
Okay. And would more transparency around candidate selection be helpful to the party when there is little information? The vacuum is filled by largely negative speculation. Why not be more open?
So can I just say this, Gary? Do you ask the OBA how they select their candidates? They just pop up sometimes and are announced. There's no question. We have a constitution, we have a central committee, we have a process, we have a membership that is over 2,000 persons, and we go through these things. People may always want to, there's only 36 seats. But the fact is, we have a clear and transparent process internally, and speculation is never helpful. That's why whenever the media asks questions, we say that we do not speculate on internal processes, and when a candidate is to be announced, we will announce it. We are here today announcing the confirmed candidate for the Progressive Labour Party for the October 4th by-election, Reverend Dr. Emily Gail Dill.
Well, my final question on that subject, isn't it arguable that the more widely known it is in the PLP branch, that the PLP branch is having an internal election and who the candidates are, the better chance that PLP members in that branch will be informed and be able to be part of it? What if someone missed an email but hears it on the radio? Isn't it better for your internal democracy of the PLP that such information is more widely known? Well,
I think it's very interesting that you're speaking on the internal democracy of the PLP, whereas the fact we actually have internal democracy inside of the Bermuda Progressive Labour Party. But I can assure you that all members are aware of what is taking place. And as you know, all members have a contact. We have a very fair and transparent process. I want to commend the chair and the executive for making sure we run fair and transparent process inside. And if anyone is interested in finding out about our process, they're more than welcome to go to www.plp.pm and join the largest and oldest and successful party in this country, the Bermuda Progressive Labour Party.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Dr. Dill. Good afternoon. Gareth Finnegan, Royal Gazette. You're the Junior Minister for National Security and Transport. What do you think are the most pressing issues that need to be addressed in those two ministries?
With regard to the Ministry of National Security, certainly the violence in our islands and the unsolved murders, and having a turnaround with regard to, ensuring that we do not see this type of negative and very tragic situations in our community. With regard to the Ministry of Transport, certainly one of the most challenging things that we are facing at this time is, as we see the increase of visitors to the island, is ensuring that our visitors are able to be transported.
Going back to national security, you talk about how we've got to put a stop to the violence, but the point is the violence hasn't stopped, has it? It hasn't stopped in the last 15, 20 years, and in actual fact it's escalating. Do you think that the government is failing on this issue? And if so, what needs to be done to address that?
I think there are lots that can be done to address it, and that we must continue to work together. Some of what you see in terms of the violence has to do with the moral decline in our community. And we as a community must come together to continue to ensure that there is opportunity for all individuals working together in terms of dealing with our family structure and the things that contribute to the challenges that we see.
You say that there's a lot that can be done to address it. Why isn't it being addressed?
I cannot agree with you that it is not being addressed. While we may not see all the results that we would like to see immediately, I can assure you that throughout this community, that is one of the greatest concerns, and we are putting our heads together, and we are trying to do all that is necessary to do what is to be able to address that situation. And if you look throughout the world, this is not just something that is Bermuda's problem. This is a situation and a problem that we have seen worldwide. This is a global problem.
But if you were to be made Minister for National Security tomorrow, what would you do? What do you think needs to be done in one day to try and arrest the issues of violence that we have at the moment?
Certainly, there's nothing that can be done in one day to address the issues.
Okay. Now, your predecessor Kathleen Simmons, she won Constituency 36 with 60% of the vote. Have you spoken to Ms. Simmons, and if so, what advice has she given you?
Yes, I have spoken with Mrs. Simmons. I've spoken with her at length, and she has encouraged me to continue to develop the relationships with the individuals within the community, and to continue to build on the work that she has begun.
Yeah, and you mentioned earlier that you're a resident, so you know the constituency well, is that? And
Yes.
people in the
Mhm.
So you have that relationship.
Yes. Mhm.
Okay, cool.
And continuing, I mean, it was so exciting. I'll share, it was so exciting to me last night to even be meeting new individuals in constituency 36, because I reside in constituency 34.
But
So
it's neighboring.
of course, yeah. But it's great. You always learn. The thing about Bermuda, you're always meeting new people every day.
Yeah. Now, you've been a senator for the last 4 years. What do you think? What do you think the difference is between, or what's the skill set that you need to be a successful MP rather than a successful senator? What will you bring to the table?
Well, first of all, I would be remiss if I did not thank the Premier for the opportunity to have served in the Senate, because it has given me a greater understanding and allowed me to be able to learn more about all of the different ministries within the government. But certainly as a member of parliament, you have the opportunity to work, you have a constituency that you are working with and working for.
Thank you, Dr. Till. A few questions from, if that's okay. From, if you don't mind, you justified calling a snap election in October 2020 because there were so many by-elections going on. We seem to be in the same place now. We've had 2 already this year, another one coming up. Why not call a general election? What's the difference between 2020 and 2024?
I know that you're ready for a by-election. We will take our time. A general election, we will take our time. And when a decision is made, you will be the first to know, Mr. Finnegan.
Thank you, sir. 2 more questions. You've got 5 senators in the upper house. Who do you think the 2 strongest members of the PLP in the upper house are? Would you say that Dr. Dill is one of them?
I would say that my entire Senate team is an amazing Senate team. It is a Senate team that is composed of majority women. It is a Senate team that has made sure that we have held up the record of this government as we advance the government's agenda. And it's interesting to see the contrast between when we move things such as pension increases, when we move things such as expanded childcare assistance, when we advance budgets such as increase in affordable housing in this country. It is very interesting to note, and it's important that we must understand and remember that the One Bermuda Alliance Senate team argued against these particular items. When we go back to the House of Assembly on September 20th, when you were speaking about those issues, I want to hearken back to the fact that we laid out that we are doing a mid-year review to put additional resources into social services. And it's important to note that there is a difference between this government and the opposition. While the opposition believes that we should watch money accumulate while there may be challenges in our society, we believe in shared benefit. We believe in returning increased tax revenue to the citizens of this country. For example, workers who were paying $2,300 a year in payroll taxes under the former government, who raised payroll taxes to the highest level ever for workers, are now paying $240 a year. That Senate team has pushed that agenda, and the entire Senate team is a strong one. And I look forward to Senator Dill becoming successful in Constituency number 36, and we will have another senator to add to that strong team.
But are you concerned that if Dr. Dill is successful at the by-election and is a safe seat, is that going to weaken the PLP Senate team?
Absolutely not. The Progressive Labour Party has a very strong bench and deep talent. We have many people who are waiting and willing to come through the ranks, and we will continue to press ahead on those particular matters. So I do not agree with that at all.
one final question, Premier. There's speculation that the reason why Dr. Dill has been selected for Constituency 36 is that that's going to leave a vacant seat in the Senate, and that will allow you to fill that vacancy with somebody who's going to be the next AG. Can you comment on that?
What I can say is that the media and others are filled with many things of speculation. The Progressive Labour Party has clear processes that are laid out for its internal selection process, and we will deal with the cards as they come. The fact is that we have a strong Senate team, that we are prepared to have a new Attorney General on September 16th, and today we are announcing a very strong and passionate person, someone who can be considered a daughter of Sands, who will hit the ground running in constituency number 36 to retain this seat for the Bermuda Progressive Labour Party.
Premier, Dr. Dill, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Would you like some closing words? Closing words, please.
To all of you, I just say thank you for this opportunity to represent Constituency 36, to my family, and in particular to my husband. I say thank you for your support, to those prayer warriors who undergird me, my family from overseas who are even here today. Those who undergird me, I just say that there is more work to be done. I'm standing on the shoulders of greatness, and I intend, when selected, to serve this community with passion and integrity. Thank you.
All right.